You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is the host of apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to eat the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core of frozen atomic waste. From deep within the core of frozen atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 97th episode of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by two of my best buddies on Earth, Sarah and Ray. What's going on, everybody?
Hi.
Evening, Andrew.
Ray, did you play any Fallout this week?
I did not.
You didn't play last week either, did you?
I didn't. Good thing I'm way caught up.
Good job. What have you been doing with yourself?
Took a little trip out west.
Oh, California way, huh?
Yep. So now I'm back and
Family event. Nice.
ready to, bear down and get some bobbleheads done.
Bobbleheads. Yeah. Good stuff. Sarah, did you play any Fallout?
I did.
What have you been doing?
I learned how to Twitch stream, first and foremost.
Ah, that's excellent. Yes.
Yeah.
She did the Twitch stream. Let's see, you went and get Pikmin's gallery, right?
Pikmin. Yes. I feel like I just hit nerd level 1,000 Twitch streaming things. Love it.
Hey, did a great job. I
Thank you.
managed to break free and watch it. It was pretty fun.
And was so happy you were there because I would have been lost just around Boston trying to find Pikmin gallery at the end.
To go collect your loot.
Yeah.
First of all,
And it's really interesting trying to guide somebody with a delay.
Yeah. It was good. We made it.
that's a problem Pat and I ran into. We were wanting to do a sort of Fallout project we're going to call rally racing, where if you know anything about auto racing, there's this kind of racing called rally racing where there's a navigator and a driver, and they're unfamiliar with the course, but the navigator has a map of the course, and he tells them, all right, now you have to take this degree of an angle turn right, 3, 2, 1, now, and they're going super fast. It's really awesome. It's like the only kind of car racing I like. But we were going to do something where we're doing that, where I was steering Pat with his character, but then we realized if you do it through Twitch or anything, you got a 20-second delay, so it's it really eliminates the point of being able to direct someone like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that delay is crazy. We figured out there's some other way to do it, but it was more effort than it's worth probably.
Sounds fun though.
Let's see. I didn't actually watch it, but I had the earbuds in and I listened to you do the run when I was at work. It seemed like you had fun looking for the actual bobblehead there on the floor.
I did. I was really worried that I was just not going to be able to find it and I was going to run in circles. Well, first I almost forgot it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on my radar.
You try to go down the hallway, whoa, hey.
Wait a minute. Yeah. But I did eventually find it, and thankfully you guys had mentioned that it's by a burning trash can.
Yeah, I read that in the wiki. I needed to read some shit. I couldn't find it either.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Let's see, you're not running any mods, so is it wearing a blue vault suit, the bobbleheads?
Say it again?
Are your bobbleheads, when you collect them, what are they wearing? Are they just wearing the blue vault suit?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, because I'm running a mod that has them all dressed up in different outfits that are appropriate to which category they are. So I was trying to remember what they look like. They're just in blue vault, right?
Just in a little blue vault suit.
I mean, there's so much garbage on the floor in Pikmin's gallery. It's impossible to find the damn thing.
It is easy to miss, and it was on its side. It wasn't standing up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, I believe, Ray, you were the one that said sometimes it gets kicked around. Yeah,
that brings up the question. If you can kick that one around, Ray, why can't I shoot the fucking strength one off the statue head? Why was one able to be interacted with and the other not?
Well, because you can you've already cleared the space for the one that you're kicking around, but the one that's up on top, they don't want you to shoot it down and not have to go do your due diligence and clean out the gunners.
They knew you were going to cheat. They knew you were going to try to take it out. So they're
Yeah.
like, all right, well,
Well,
doing it in space.
I fucking tried. The sweet part was I had just been there like a couple days before and cleared out all the gunners anyway. So when I went back to get the bobblehead ray, it was just I just had to run up the stairs.
That's awesome.
It's like crap. I cleared this one out like 2 days ago. Yeah.
So why didn't you pick it up when you were there? Did you forget?
Time yet? I better save this one. I'll come back when it's time. And I thought it would be, some of those locations reload pretty quickly. Some of them don't reload at all. Do you know which ones stay permanently cleared?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some of them that just, I think when you clear them, they stay cleared. And other ones, it seems like every 2 days, there's more raiders or gunners in there. They're hard to, they're like rats. They're hard to keep out. Yeah. So I played a lot this week. I did some, I wanted what's it called? The Marine Combat Wetsuit or something from Far Harbor.
Oh, yeah.
So guess what I've been doing the last couple nights, right?
You've been playing Dima's memory game.
Dima's Blue Nightmare. You're right. It's fucking the worst. Oh, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. Sarah, did you play Far Harbor?
I haven't made it to Far Harbor yet.
Oh, it's gonna be a dream for you. I can't wait for you to play Dima's Blue Nightmare.
Well, now I'm scared.
It's gonna be the best.
It's just a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game of nightmarish proportions.
I have no patience. No patience for puzzles.
Oh my! This is gonna be tearing your fucking hair out.
Oh my gosh! You know what? In Skyrim, when you have to turn the stupid dials with like snake, whale, whatever. Oh my gosh, it makes me so mad.
Oh, this one's gonna tear you up then.
Because those 10 millions times harder.
Great.
It's
shit I can shoot at, man. That's just what I need. No puzzles.
They kind of try to incorporate the building system in a new way into the game, which is cool. I'm glad they attempted to do this. I think a lot of people think they fell short with the execution of this particular. It's just really weird. It's really out of place in the game.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm sure.
I can't wait for you to play eventually. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll hear about it.
Yeah. Anyway, I went over there. I got that armor. I've decided to try to build like a bobblehead sort of monument or something. I don't even know what I'm doing yet. But I went over and I cleared out Spectacle Island, and I've got that scrap everything mod. So I scrapped like most everything. But good lords, I thought Scraptuary took long. Fucking Spectacle Island. Ugh. Took me. I'm still not even close to done. I've just scrapped in all the trees and everything. I'm trying to. I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't done enough building. I always spend a ton of time on construction and building, and I haven't done much of that at all because I've just been plopping down a few sim settlements locations and just kind of letting stuff go. But then I don't come back to it and add more later, so it's just the same like plots there. So I need to go flush it out. I was thinking about trying to attempt an apartment building or something, and like actually count the squares that each sim settlement plot takes up, and then like making each room that size, and then like make a really tall like apartment building or something, just to see how that would work out. See if people would actually, and fill up the place or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's a dumb idea. I was just thinking about I just forgot his name. Ray. Do you remember the guy who posted the all the settlement videos? God, I can't believe I just blanked on his name. I'm an idiot.
Ted?
Ted, yeah, Ted Finch. I was just thinking about his settlements and like how fucking crazy the settlements were, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do something cool like Ted. So I'm gonna try to do something with a bobblehead, some sort of monument, and I want to attempt some sort of Cabrini Green style apartment building for these assholes. Guys, we got some feedback to get through this evening. Bobbleheads that we fetched last week were unarmed strength and lock picking. Twitch, who did we do? Let's see, Shalene. Did anyone go check out Shalene's Twitch stream for the unarmed bobblehead? I tuned in live last night as they were recording it. She had a special guest commentator with her. Who was that? Her former co-host of Fallout Off the Record, Rick. Rick McVick was her special guest. So everyone go check that out.
Her current co-host for GameStack.
Current GameStack host. I meant former podcast Fallout Off the Record. Not that they're not partners anymore. I stated that weirdly. You're correct, right? Yeah, GameStack podcast. Check out her new podcast, everybody, and go over to twitch.tv/ASA podcasting. Check out Shalene's Twitch stream. Also, Sarah. And I know General was going to do the strength bobblehead, but I think he was having a little bit of a hold up there. But he said he'll get to it soon if he hasn't gotten to it already. So that'll be really great. And next time we got a new slew of bobbleheads coming your way. So let's go ahead and get into our feedback, guys. We have Leon sent us in a big, healthy one, of course. Leon, I hope he can get his audio stuff fixed. He was supposed to be on an episode earlier in the season. Leon's always been one of our really favorite play-along people. But he couldn't get his computer figured out. So hopefully he can get that figured out and we get him onto the show here later in the season. We really like to hear from him because he always has good stuff to say. And let's hear him say it.
G'day, this is Leon for the Fallout Feed Roundtable bobblehead run. I'm playing Elmer. So, quick overview of where he's at before I get into the bobbleheads and a couple of side quests. Currently, Elmer is level 58. For the most part, I'm just wearing the Silver Shroud armor, which I finally got to upgrade to the max. Still not as good as if I had Ballistic Weave, but oh well. I'm mainly cruising around in the horse power armor. I have two other sets of power armor that I've fully upgraded, but I'll get into them a little bit later. My horse power armor, I've titanium enhanced all of it except for the helmet, which so that's extra hit points on all the pieces. The helmet has the photovoltaic so that I get extra action points in sunlight. Then I've done the overview where it shows living targets in red on the helmet, and then the arms just have I want to say optimized bracers or rusty knuckles, something like that. Just nothing major because I don't use anything that much. And then the legs have the calibrated servos. That's my standard power armor. I pretty much go everywhere in that unless I have to get out for long enough to do something that requires like a terminal or crafting or something like that. And I keep it pretty updated. Weapons, I'm using a 3-weapon combo. I'm using a never-ending radium rifle that I've maxed out as sort of my short-range kind of automatic, just fire everything till they're dead. That's kind of the shotgun / automatic pistol type weapon. I have a sniper rifle that I've made. It's the Overseer's Guardian, which is I've converted to a 308. And it's good for sniping, and with the ability to fire 2 shots at once, that's what the Overseer's Guardian does, then it makes a really good sniper rifle. I haven't got any perks in any of those, so it's not like they're massive damage, but they're still pretty good. I have switched from my knife that I had picked up that I talked about in the last thing, and I went to Jamaica Plains. And I'll get into why and stuff in a little bit. But when I went to Jamaica Plains, one of the things I did was I found the treasures of Jamaica Plains. So I picked up the I can't remember what year it was, but the World Series bat that's down in there. And I took it back and I modified it. And that has the special, it has a chance to knock your opponent back. And I have modified it up to aluminum and the electrical shock damage. So it has a chance of knocking them back. It now has a chance of shocking them, and it does a massive amount of damage. And that's my new melee weapon, and I'm really, really digging it until I find something better. I still carry the knife, but the only time I really use the knife is when I'm going after mirelurk eggs and the little mirelurk hatchlings pop out. Then I'll usually just grab the knife and stab, 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 because it's so quick. I can just go tack, 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 tack. And even then, it's only if I remember. If I happen to have the melee weapon equipped, I'll just use the baseball bat equipped. Then I'll use it. Although I do think it's funny that the World Series bat I converted over to aluminum, so that's pretty funny. Okay, so for the particular bobbleheads we're going for, Pikmin's Gallery, nothing real fancy there. I just kind of went from Bunker Hill down there. I did this time have Hancock with me, which I don't usually do a lot with Hancock, but I wanted to, get his Perkins, so I wanted to see what it'd be like if you took him, since he's the one that gives you the quest for it. And that was pretty funny. He has one comment where he's like, when I told you to go investigate Pikmin's Gallery, I didn't expect you to bring me here. So I thought that was pretty funny. Overall, I just bashed my way through with my power armor. The jetpack, on my horsepower armor, I have the jetpack, and I swear by the jetpack because I love doing the jetpack. And I'll tell you a couple of things later about that. But so you can jump around, like jump on top of the pipes and stuff. Overall, I'm playing a good guy this time, so I really wanted to kill Pikmin because I know he's killing raiders, but he's still a murderer. But I could not actually do any damage to him. I didn't try until after I killed the raiders, so I'm not sure if maybe I need to shoot him first or do something like that. But every time I tried to swing at him or anything, nothing happened. Could also be a glitch. I'm not running any mods or anything except for Creation Club, but maybe there's something there. I don't know. I've never actually tried to kill Pikmin before, but I was going to this time, but I just couldn't do it. So I don't know. If somebody else can, cool. I couldn't this time. So if, I don't think you ever see him again out in the Commonwealth, you might see some of the dead bodies of people he's killed. But if I ever do, I'm going to try to take him down again, but whatever. So that was Pikmin's Gallery. Mass Fusion. For Mass Fusion, pretty much all I did was I just walked in with my power armor. Me and Hancock. Hancock is using a wounding combat shotgun that I've made fully auto with the big drum magazine. And he was wearing, I have the Creation Club stuff, so I had stuck him in the Doom armor, which is actually not as good as like a fully Ballistic Wave 4 set, but so it's not like it's broken or anything. It's just cool looking, and it's pretty easy, cheap set to get real early on since it's part of the Creation Club. So me and Hancock went in, and we just pretty much I just ran all the way to the top, killing everything I saw in sight. Just head clocking them with the baseball bat, and I love that. Most of the time the noises you get from some of the effects annoy me, especially the Idiot Savant. But I love that clock when you knock somebody's head off, or in this case when you knock them back. And so that was pretty funny. Then once I got all the way to the top, I got the bobblehead, and then I just proceeded to walk all the way back down, looting everything. And then once I got all the way back down, I was like barely able to move, waiting for my AP to recharge, and then walked outside the doors and jumped back to my settlement. So Mass Fusion, that was that. Atom Cats. So Atom Cats, again, you just walk in, you grab the unarmed. Now, side quest, and in regards to the Atom Cats, I had the settlement down real far south. I can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head, but they had given me a quest. It's the one close to Vault 95. They had given me a quest to unlock that settlement, saying, oh, hey, we've heard about this place that would make a good settlement if you clear out whatever's there. And that was Jamaica Plains. And this was before I did the Atom Cats. So I went to Jamaica Plains, cleared that out, made it a little settlement. While I was there, I got the treasures of Jamaica Plains. So then I went and headed towards the Atom Cats. I was like, okay, cool. This is, I'll just keep going there. So I headed straight east till I hit the road. And I was planning on going south. What I had forgotten about, I knew that in that area was the kid in the refrigerator. but I didn't realize it was almost straight in my path. I mean, literally almost straight east from Jamaica Plains. It's kind of right in that area. And so I was a little bit away and heard him yelling. I'm like, oh, okay, Hancock's with me. This will be good for his rep because I hadn't maxed him yet. So I'm like, I remember this kid's a ghoul. So, okay, cool. I'm going to walk up. I talk to the kid, let him out. It's a ghoul. Okay. So I escort him home. And, the guy comes out and says, I want to buy the kid, blah, blah, blah. And as an aside, I've played a couple of evil characters in previous roundtables. I have never been willing to sell that kid to that guy. That's one of those quests that I don't care how many times I play it, I'm never going to see that option because it's just wrong. Even the one time early on before I was in the round table, I originally like my second character through Fallout 4. I played like a crazy person. I got Crim's Tooth and he went nuts, that kind of thing. And I started to do kind of the, kill everything. And even then, I still didn't sell the kid to that guy. So that's one of those quests I'm just never going to do, that side of it. So I escorted him home and then they come out. They show up, no, we want those ghouls, blah, blah. So I killed them, no problem. Then I started heading back because, again, I still want to go to the Adam Cat's garage. So I'm heading back north, and I start hearing all this gunfire by Quincy. And I'm like, what is going on? It's not me. The Brotherhood showed up, so maybe there's something. So I crashed down. And by this level, I'm level 58. Like I said, I've maxed out my stealth. Well, actually, I don't think I've maxed. I've got 4 ranks, so I'm really, really stealthy, even in power armor. So I'm walking and I see some fighting going on. So I pull out my sniper rifle and I'm vatsing people and I see Caravan Guard. What? And then I see, what is her name now? I forget her name. The lady with spray and pray. I can't remember her name off the top of my head now. Anyways, it's that merchant, the wandering merchant. You see her outside Vault 81. And she has spray and pray. Anyways, it's her and her guards, and they're getting attacked by the gunners. And I'm like, oh, wait, I haven't bought spray and pray yet. And I want to eventually get spray and pray just so I have it. I'm not for sure if, as a merchant, she might be like the caravan guards or some of the others, or not caravan guards, sorry, wow, my brain is just out of it. The ones that you send from settlement to settlement, provisioners. I've never had it happen, but I heard that if you get too close to them and then they get attacked, they can actually die. I've never had it happen, so I'm not worried about it. So I didn't want to risk it happening with her, so I jump in and I start helping her kill the gunners. So what proceeds is the wiping out of the gunners in Quincy. Between me, Hancock, and her and her 2 guards, we proceed to wipe out everybody in Quincy. And I'm looting. I'm throwing grenades. I'm pulling out every gun, never ending. I even pop it with my hat. My bat. And so we clear out Quincy, and I'm looting as I go. So as soon as most of the battle's over, I track her down. She's a little bit north of Quincy by then, and I'm going real slow, but finally catch up to her real quick. And sell all the stuff I picked up and buy spray and pray and a bunch of ammo too. So now I got spray and pray. Yay. So I don't care what happens to her now. Although Cricket, that's her name. I remember now, Cricket. So anyway, so I protected her. Like I said, I'm not sure if merchant, she can actually be killed, but I didn't want to risk it. So then I headed to the Adam Cats. I did the Adam Cats quest where I send you to work Homestead. Then I came back. I haven't unlocked work Homestead actually, so I don't know if there's another step I just missed or I just hadn't. Maybe I need to go back and talk to him. Anyways, so I got the Adam Cats unarmed. So now then, some other stuff. I'm getting ready to do Parsons State Insane Asylum. I've already done Vault 81. I maxed out during the Adam Cat stuff to finish there. I maxed out Hancock's affection. So I went ahead and went and did Vault 81 and got Curie. So she's my love interest. So I'm going around with her right now. I've got her into the synth body, but I have not gotten her as the romance yet. I'm still flirting with her. So I'm working on that. Like I said, I'd already done 95 when I was with Kate, and I've done 81 now. 81 was I'll get into that for that, but that was I actually did it an interesting way. we'll get into that later. So I'm headed for Parsons next. That's the next one I need to do. So now for power armor. My power armor, like I said, I'm using the horse armor. I swear by the jetpack. And one of the reasons why is like Tinker Tom. I've started doing the railroad quests, and for Tinker Tom, his Mila quests. For instance, he just recently sent me on a Mila to Backstreet Apparel. Well, you don't even have to go inside the building. You can literally jump up on top of like 2 different roofs that are right there. There's like an awning and then like a roof and then on top of the other roof. And then once you're up there, you just drop the Mila off. Boom, you're done. Jetpack, you don't even have to bother going in. And there's a couple other Milas that you can do similar things. For my companion, when I need them in power armor, then I have the, again, it's the Creation Club, the Hellfire armor. For the Hellfire, I've maxed it out titanium all the way around, maxed it out on what model number, and I've just maxed everything out on it, and then I put a jetpack on it. So that's for my companion. Then I have a third suit. The third suit is currently T60 armor. So it's currently T60 armor, and I'm going to change that to XO1 once I get that. On it, it's my anti-radiation suit. So I've lead lined everything. I do not have a jetpack on it. Instead, I have the auto stim pack for it. And that's mainly when I go to the glowing sea. That's the suit I'll pretty much use or throw my companion in and use. It just depends. Mainly, it's just lead line for anti-radiation. Like I said, once I get an XO1, I'll change that. Settlements. I know that I'd said that I built a little mini vault that protects Crim's Tooth. I haven't got around to getting pictures of that because it's kind of a pain for me to get my phone because I'm playing on the Xbox, take a picture, and then download it, blah, blah, blah. I will do that at some point, but it'll be a little bit. For my main settlement, I pretty much don't have a main settlement. I've been maxing all of them. For my sign settlement, Country Crossing, I decided to do something a little different there because I wanted to make it special. So what I did is I made it my animal farm. So the only person there is the person that runs my artillery shell. And that person's the only person there. Everything there is just the capture traps. So I've got 4 Radstag capture traps, 2 Yagwai capture traps, and 1 Deathclaw. Then all the rest of my settlements are pretty up. Now, one interesting thing is Covenant. I've done the Covenant quest. I sided with them because that was before I met Sense. So I've turned Covenant into my it's the place I tend to go a lot when I need to sell stuff and dump stuff into my system, the settlements, because you can sell to penny, and then you can just dump stuff in your settlement. So you've got penny. Then I dropped a Slocum Joe's there. Then I dropped a trading emporium that I assigned the Vault Tech rep to make it level 4. Then I did the clothing emporium and assigned the lady from the radio station to make it level 4. Anna, I think her name is. Then just when I did Vault 81 a little bit ago, I got Tina DeLucci as a follower, settler, sorry. And so I assigned her to Covenant. So now Covenant has Penny, 2 trading for level 4 emporiums, and a clothing level 4 emporium, and a Slocum Joe's, all set up there. So it's a great place to sell that in Diamond City. The only reason I go to Good Neighbor now is to buy oil from Clio for selling stuff. And so that's most of my settlements. Let's see. I've done the railroad. I've got the ballistic weave, but not really. Like Curie's got a ballistic weave. I think it's Dirty Army outfit or military uniform. I can't remember what, and then armor on top of it. But for myself, I'm just staying in with the Silver Shroud. I wish I could ballistic weave it, but I play with mods very much. It's just I might next round table just to see what it does again, but for the most part, I tend to stay modless unless it's like Creation Club. There was something else I wanted to mention, but I have forgotten what it is, and I don't have any notes. But there was something, and oh well. But overall, like I said, I'll try to. Sorry, about the beeping in the background. Overall, I'm having a good time with this playthrough. It's been a while since I played a kind of a melee build-ish for the most part. I've got the big leagues maxed and everything there, the blacksmith, all that kind of stuff. And so it's pretty fun there. Overall, I'll see you in the wasteland.
Right on. Thank you so much, Leon, for your consistently awesome feedback. That makes sense. Thoughts? What do you got, Sarah?
Tell me, what is a spray and pray? I need to know.
Okay. Ray will have to remind us exactly what model of gun it is, but it has the explosive effect, I believe.
Yeah, it's a submachine gun, and it has the exploding bullets.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. And can you only get it from Cricket? Or can you get it
Yeah.
other places? Okay.
Nope, just cricket.
Interesting.
You might be able to find other weapons with that effect, however, correct, Ray?
It is possible because it is a standard effect.
Yeah. Now, the question is, do you have to... Sometimes they make you find it before they unlock it and make it pop out randomly or whatever, right? Like, would you have to buy Spray and Pray before it would become available to be a randomly assigned legendary effect?
I don't think so. Most of the legendary stuff has a level list, and
Okay.
so it becomes available when you get to a certain level.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially if you keep everybody far enough away that you don't blow yourself up with it.
It is also the key, I've heard, to being a cheat over at Nuka World. There's evidently one of the steps about getting 100% achievements over there is like something with these stupid tickets. You have to collect 100,000 game tickets like you're at a real Chuck E. Cheese or something, Sarah. And
Awesome.
no, it's not really. I've never actually attempted it, but anyone I've heard attempt it say it's the most annoying thing in the game. Even worse than Demon's Blue Nightmare, evidently. But there's a target shooting thing that's really tough. And one of the ways to beat it is just to get the spray and pray or an explosive weapon, and it just takes out the target no matter if you hit it or not, because it explodes and takes the target out too. That's that. I'm going to try to cheat.
That.
Yeah. You need to know how to cheat. So when you get there, you're not pulling out your hair, I guess.
I'm learning all kinds of good stuff from you. Shooting down bobbleheads.
I wish you could shoot down bobbleheads. Leon's still rocking that horsepower armor. He says he gets annoyed at certain sound effects. When does it whinny? Is it when you get in it?
And I think once he gets to level 60, he can unlock the V8 upgrade.
I don't know what that means.
So he can get maximum horsepower.
Oh.
You're hilarious.
I am looking up images of this thing. I know I looked it up before, but I remember thinking it is just ridiculous looking.
Horsepower armor?
Yeah. Oh, it totally is.
It's a little silly, yeah. What is calibrated servos? What does that mean, Ray? Is that a power armor mod he was talking about?
Yeah, it's a mod you can apply to your power armor to
I've never played that. I mentioned last episode my science is always too low to actually get into the good parts of power armor.
Yeah, I don't use it enough to remember what they are right off the top of my head.
He's got the never-ending radium rifle. Never-ending meaning he doesn't have to stop and reload his clip, right?
Right.
But he will run out of ammo. It's not like it's an infinite ammo. It's just you don't have to reload.
Exactly.
That's one of the better ones. I kind of enjoy that one. Do you have a favorite legendary effect, Ray?
Ooh.
It's hard to choose.
Yeah. I mean, it's really situational. There are definitely a lot of good ones. I like kneecapper on a shotgun.
And specifically, what is? I mean,
so kneecapper increases the chance of limb damage.
including arms too, or just like
Yeah, well, the stagger effect is what you get on the legs.
Okay.
But yeah,
we were sort of talking about this behind the scenes. One of my favorite ones is the. No, not one of my favorites. It was one that I had just found was the extra limb damage one.
yeah,
And then
crippling.
I was asking Ray, do you actually have to target those limbs specifically with your VATS in order to get that extra damage, or can you shoot him in the torso? Yet it will give you that plus 5% damage on his like if you shoot someone in the chest, are you only doing damage on that specific zone?
I believe if you're shooting him in VATS, that is the case. You'll only get damage to that spot.
If you're shooting from the hip, do you get general damage then? Are they still zoned out if you're not in VATS?
Yeah, and also if you're using a shotgun, it has an area effect, so it's
Covers everything anyway.
It's hitting a lot of different parts.
Yeah. Interesting. Sarah, do you have a favorite what's it called? Legendary effect?
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a favorite, but I really like things that have like bleeding damage or any effects that make me stronger. Because it makes me kill things faster. I guess that's all of them, huh?
You like the melee stuff, it sounds like then.
Yeah.
Bleeding damage.
Yeah, I like, you know what? I actually, I had a rifle with bleeding damage, and it was really awesome shooting things and then
Really?
like waiting 2 seconds and they would just die
Mhm.
after.
I was just about to ask if bleeding was only a melee thing or if it came on ballistic weapons as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, they're,
What do you think is the real life like what are they doing to give a extra bleeding damage? Are they like serrating the bullets or something? What is the process that would give a gun extra bleeding damage?
no idea. Hitting them in the right spot, probably.
I have no idea. Yeah. It lets you clip arteries better.
Yeah, it knows where the jugular is.
Yeah. Let's see. Pikmin, he couldn't do any damage to Pikmin. Mystery to me.
About that.
No idea. It's blasphemous, Leon. How fucking dare you convert the World Series bat to an aluminum children's
He's probably
stop?
corked it too.
Oh, jeez. Put pine tar all the way up and down the whole damn barrel, buddy. Why don't you? Golly, Leon. Disrespectful, buddy. He was saying he was running into people with his horsepower armor. I was going to say, did he get the pain train perk? I just sort of read about that one for the first time seriously the other day. I was like, ooh, that sounds kind of fun. Have you ever used the pain train, Ray? Are you?
No, I've never done enough. That's the one build I haven't really done is power armor. I need to get on that.
And actually, I was reading it, and it says it does damage when you sprint into people and run into them. It does like a power attack or something.
Yep.
And it does even more damage with power armor. So it implies that like it even works without the power armor. I was like, whoa, that's kind of sweet. I wonder if you can like run in and do like a super judo fucking move, take out somebody. That's awesome. Pain train. Let's see. Pikmin's gallery, going in, walking and killing everybody. I wrote down pulling a ray there. Just go and kill everything. Pick up the mess later. Cricket, I wrote down because he's having trouble remembering cricket for the spray and pray. Mila power armor, that's fucking great application for getting the jets on your power armor because you can just hop roof to roof and get up there and do your Milas. So annoying having to go up through some of those damn buildings, Ray.
Well, but that's 7 people you could have killed.
You're losing that XP, Leon. He's got a point. I don't know.
And yeah, so the settlement is Somerville Place.
Somerville Place. Well,
that's the one down by Vault 95. Billy,
yeah. I just picked up Skyrim Billy the other day.
sell Billy,
Well,
and then
sell Billy.
kill the guy and take him back. He's still really pissed off about it, and so is any of the followers that you have with you, except maybe Strong.
Okay, wait. Say that again. You sell Billy to the creep.
Yep.
And then you kill the creep.
And take Billy back to his parents.
Will Billy just follow you then? Yeah. Why?
He bitches about it, and he's like, "I can't believe you did that and didn't tell me." But you get the money for selling him, and
the XP for killing the bro.
Yeah, and you get the reward from the parents for bringing him back.
Yeah, I never bring him back. Ray, he's a good indicator that things are sneaking up on you. He's a security system for me because he always says, "Oh, they're about to attack" or something.
Yeah,
I always like having him around. I keep him around. I don't
until somebody kills him.
He doesn't die.
No,
he runs away. He always hides during combat, but he gives you a heads up when something's sneaking up on you. It's really nice. I found his equivalent in Skyrim the other day. The sigil of Debella. That little girl, if you go rescue her from the Forsworn and don't take her back, she's just like Billy. She'll follow you all over the game. And she says cool stuff. She's really fun.
There you go.
Ooh, a dead body. Pretty sweet. Oh, man. I know you don't have an Xbox, Ray. And wait, actually, neither do you, Sarah. That's kind of fun that we each have an Xbox, a PS4, and a PC representative. That's kind of fun. He was talking about Xbox screenshot. Pretty sure he's on the Xbox One. Do you know how to do an Xbox screenshot, Leon? I think it's if you hit the menu button, like the sort of Xbox button, and then tap Y, it'll take a screenshot for you, so you don't have to do that annoying shit with your phone and then uploading it and all that stuff. And then you can just, right from the Xbox app, upload it to the group. That's how I do it, at least. I don't know if there's an easier way.
I need to see this picture still.
Yeah, we'd like to see it.
I want to see it.
Ray, he was mentioning all this, the upper level, like merchants and shit. Do you know who he was talking about? Who's Penny? Was she from not Covenworth? What's it called? Covenant?
Covenant. Yeah, see, again, that would be
something
outside of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, you don't recruit people. But I think is she the doctor? I don't even remember who she was. But then he said he also got the Vault Tech rep and the lady from the radio station. Forget her name, Alice Wagner or something like that. And then he mentioned another merchant. Was that Penny he was talking about? Or I'm just curious because there was some. I think I got miscounted in there, Leon. How many magic merchants do you have down there, buddy? Crazy. I just got a critical security alert from Google, Sarah, saying that there's been some email attempts have been.
Oh man, I'm the worst hacker ever.
Google's keeping you out of our Fallout feed account. That's hilarious. So I'm interested in your merchant setup, Leon. Fill us in on that. Oh, guys, I was going to ask you what I should do because I just passed level 50. So I've been banking the last few levels, and I was like, do I collapse and fall back on my old ways and get... I needed 1 level of charisma and then local leader 1 and 2. Do I do it? No, let's not do it. And then I went ahead and I did it. So I had to hook up on my...
if you have the settlements, you may as well do it.
Yeah. I mean, I have most of the settlements because... like I mentioned last time, if you're playing the railroad and you go ahead and just say, fuck you, Institute, and kill everyone, and they, send you back in for a brief battle again, but it's pretty much, you play it the rest of the game via the Minutemen. The railroad stuff is just kind of shut down. Actually, now that I went back, they are sending me out on a few Radiant quests. That's like, go rescue this synth. We have a lost synth. I don't remember what it's called. It's like the Shepherd or Lost Sheep, or I don't remember exactly what the quests are called, but have to go out and rescue these synths that have gotten themselves in trouble. So, but the railroad's gotten pretty quiet. I went and destroyed the Institute, and I finished the game. It's been a long time since I've actually seen the final animation of the main story. And if you do it the way I did it, the main story, you can beat the game in a couple hours probably if you wanted to rush it. Burned right through that shit. All right, we got some more emails and stuff to get through. We've got Steve. Okay, man, this is bad. Sorry, I have to apologize. Steve has been a dedicated feedback guy for a long time, but sending in all this great stuff. Been on the show a few times. Steve, you're always welcome to come on the show whenever you want to, of course. And he sent us. He was very responsible because he was going to be out of town, which for him in New Zealand meant he was actually coming to our town. He was coming to the United States. So welcome back, Steve. And he's already gone again. So goodbye, Steve. But he was responsible. He knew during that time that we're going to have a show. So he pre-recorded something early and sent it in early so that we would have it for the time that he was off. And me being a stupid, irresponsible show host, forgot to play it. So, Steve, I apologize for that. But we'll go ahead and check in with that.
So this is a prequel to last week's commentary.
Episode 2, I believe. All right. Thank you, Steve.
Kia ora, Steve, the American expat in New Zealand here with my feedback for episode 2 of the Bobblehead Run. So Sid's got some addictions and he's busy working his way through the Commonwealth. Spanky Preston of our gang gave him some settlements to help out. One was Somerville Place. I want to create a bottom band of connected settlements, and so that's a good one to get. I always find it hard to take that place as a settlement. The quest comes up for me so rarely. It's nice to have it early on a playthrough. They wanted me to take care of some super mutants that have been causing trouble for them at Scrap Palace. I have a mod called True Legendary Enemies, and they put a whopper of a super mutant in there. He took me a while to get down. I kept having to run into the little shack building there and hide from him and then ping him with my knife and grenades. But I did get a legendary pair of knuckles there called Rip and Tear from him that gives a boost of speed and damage after killing an enemy. It's from a mod called More Unique Uniques. I used the knuckles for a while after I put some blades on them. It's a nice unarmed weapon there, and it's good to have Somerville Place. I was feeling so good about killing super mutants. I felt it was a good time to go take on Trinity Tower and get that melee bobblehead. I ended up going up there, and I freed Rex and Strong. I did the same thing where it was after you free Rex and Strong and you come out and then there's those extra super mutants there, and it was dark and I was just hitting and I realized why isn't this super mutant dying? Oh crap, I'm attacking Strong. Anyway, I guess that's a common thing, huh? I ended up sending a Strong to go hang out at Somerville Place and do a little community service there since they had bad opinions about super mutants, but he always complains that it's boring. Went to go get the speech bobblehead, and so I went in search of Valentine. I picked up Kate along the way. So Sid often takes the sarcastic route when talking with people, and well, after we grabbed Valentine, he still helps you, but he doesn't like you when you talk down to him. I currently have a negative affinity with him. I keep talking sarcastically to him, and that keeps going down. I think it's only like -3 or -4, but anyway, I myself, Steve, think that Valentine is awesome, and it's kind of rough to have him pissed off at me, but he's still helping. We went to Kellogg's house in Diamond City and couldn't get in, so I made a run back to Sanctuary and fed Mama Murphy some chems to get her to have a vision and tell me how I could find the key in the bleachers under his house. Did you know you could do that? Yeah. It saves you from having to figure out other ways to get in there. So I go back, we get in, we have dog meat follow the trail mostly to Fort Hagen. On the way, stop back in at Sanctuary Hills again. I feed Mama Murphy some more chems. This time, it gives me a 25% damage boost against Kellogg. Did you know you could do that? Pretty cool, eh? We head to Fort Hagen, and I take out Kellogg. I use this hotkeys mod and a script I found on the internet called Trippa Snippa Auto Drug Hotkey. Lets me take a bunch of chems with one hotkey click. This is really awesome. I need to tweak it to fit the chems I have, but so you can Google that if you're curious. The Trippa Snippa Auto Drug Hotkey. If you have the chems in your inventory, you will, with one button click, take Jet Fuel, Berry Mentats, Buff Jet, Buff Tats, Orange Mentats, Psycho Jet, Psycho Buff, Overdrive, and Ultra Jet. I had done some chem crafting ahead of time, combining chems, and I didn't have them all, but I had some, and it let me absolutely wreck Kellogg. I went into slow time and just wasted the room. Yeah, Jet's a hell of a drug. At this point, I took Chemist 1, so my chems last 50% longer. That includes the slow time from Jet. I ran around from there and headed out to the Glowing Sea and finding Virgil. I always level up a couple of times in the Glowing Sea. And then went over to go find the Corsair and find the railroad. Not sure about those railroads. They're kind of nuts. And then back to the Glowing Sea and to Sanctuary Hills to build the transponder. So I've gotten to level 25. I have added Blacksmith 2, Toughness 2, Medic 2, Chemist 2, along with a few specials in Strength to get me to 10, so I can take the bobblehead to get to 11. I have also added a Medic's Addiction for an additional Agility -1 and Damage Resist -1. I did find a junkie weapon, a plasma pistol, but I already sold all my plasma ammo, so I can't shoot it. I think I bought some chems with the money in Good Neighbor. Silly me. Yeah. He just came off of some random legendary raider out there I found on my way to Good Neighbor, I think. He was just out and about, and he had that junkie weapon. So that's cool. I'll use that eventually, but I haven't found any ammo for it yet. I'm up to 11,338 caps. I've only taken 183 chems. I think I would have taken more by now. I would think I would have taken more by now. If you want to see some interesting stats, go into your Pip-Boy, and under data, there's that stats page that will tell you interesting stats like junk collected. I've collected 3,942 pieces of junk. I've apparently looted 412 chests. I've taken 109 stim packs. I'm looking forward to getting to the Institute because my assigned settlement is Warwick Homestead. And to unlock Warwick, you can either help the Atom Cats or there is an Institute quest. And I really want to do the Institute quest. So I can't get to my settlement until I go to the Institute. I should be on the podcast with Denny next week, so I'll catch everybody up to where I am at that point. Cheers all, and I will see you in the wasteland.
Thank you, Steve. Making his way down to Somerville Place. I thought that was very nice. Sending Strong back to be a good ambassador for the super mutants after their foul taste in their mouth from being attacked by super mutants. You know what I mean? That's fun.
I thought that was fun.
And one of the things to remember is you don't have to wait to be sent to any of the settlements by the Minutemen. You can go and just engage in dialogue with the characters in that settlement, and they'll give you the quest to unlock their settlement.
Yeah, you just chat with them.
Yeah.
He's giving Mama Murphy lots of chems. That's nice because his character's pretty hopped up. Gives you a negative affinity from Nick for being a sarcastic asshole all the time, though. And then it made me think. He said he has a -2 or 3, or -3 or 4. I was thinking, where do you look that up?
He plays on PC,
so
you can go in and console command that information.
Oh, can you? Oh, nice. That's interesting. I didn't know Mama Murphy gave you all those tips. What else does she do? She told you there's a key under the bleachers, so you don't have to do that fool ass running around quest of going up to the mayor or doing whatever you have to do. What else did he say she did? There was something else.
Yeah, I don't remember.
A Kellogg boost or something. I think you get a damage resistance boost or a damage boost against Kellogg. That's cool. I didn't know that. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I do have a question.
Yeah.
So he loaded up on basically everything under the sun to kill Kellogg. So how many chems can you actually take? Do you just keep taking them until you no longer have effects? Or is it like Skyrim where if you eat all of your ingredients, it eventually kills you?
I think as long as each one does a different thing, you can take it. You just can't stack them. You can't take like 5 jets in a row and have it be any different than if you just took one.
Oh, okay.
But he was talking about the auto drug hotkey mod. That was pretty fun. I don't think it's necessary to take something that is jet and buff jet and jet blah 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 and super jet,
An ultra jet.
An ultra jet. Like I think that's just what Ray was saying. Like it doesn't stack like that, right?
Well, so each one does something a little bit different. So
yeah, but you could just take the buff out and the jet. You know what I mean? But if you take buff out and buff jet, you're wasting one of those buffs. you're eliminating a buff, right?
Yeah, I think it gives you different effects. I don't think it's equal to one jet and one buff out.
I'm not much of I'm not a big Kim's guy, so that's fun though. I still love his character role. He's playing pumping everybody into Kim slinging drugs. Attaboy, Steve. Upstanding citizen for the kids. He started taking 183 chems. That's probably more than I've ever taken in the whole game ever. And the thousands of hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just don't do chems really at all? And
No.
Ray, you don't either?
No, I never think of it.
Neither do I. I sell them. Use them for money. Use them for caps. I hardly ever make them. The only reason I ever mess around at the chem station is like making follower beacons for that one stupid follower mod that I used to like. I don't know what I use the chem station for. Oh, I use it to entertain Strong because as Steve was mentioning, he gets bored really easily. But if you put a chem station in there, he'll just sit there and buy a chem station and make chems all the time. So that's something for Strong to do.
Yeah, he hangs out at my chem station.
Yeah.
But I'm on that thing.
That's what he does. What do you do? What's your chem?
I just make tons and tons. Well, because I have that mod where I can scrap everything, and so I've just got tons and tons of fertilizer. Because I think we talked about this last time.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just make tons and tons and tons of jet, lots of drugs, and I sell them and I take them, and I think they're amazing. In Fallout,
Drugs are good, kids.
drugs are great.
Nice.
So it's always
So
me.
yeah, so thanks, Steve, for the email back in early April.
Yeah, he said we'll have to check with him and see how he's doing with his junkie weapon. I've come across that a few times, and you actually have to be suffering from withdrawal effects from various chems in order to get this to actually start giving you some good damage bonus. But
Yeah.
if you are if you have 11 chem addictions, 1 alcohol addiction, and the dark craving, you can get a plus 195% damage.
Holy fuck.
Whoa.
That's sort of that sort of like negative, like you have to have a negative effect in order to get a positive effect. I forget what the weapon was.
Of course, you
but
probably have 190% negative damage with all those addictions, and so you're really only getting a 5%. But hey, looks good on paper.
There was one build I did for the when we did the Fudge Muppet guys, where I did the radiation build, and the more radiation damage I had, the more damage. I did like a 25, 50, 75, and 100. If I was like almost dead from radiation, I was doing double damage with my weapons, I think, by the end.
Which is all fine and good, except you can get one-shotted with a pipe pistol.
Yeah, but if you're as good as me, Ray.
Oh, sorry, I failed to take that into consideration.
Yeah, no, I'm really bad at video games. I've made the comment many times I should not be hosting a podcast about video games. I just do it for fun. Not any good at it. And I'm always embarrassed by my Twitch
That's
streams.
what games are actually for, is for fun. So you must be doing it right.
No, Ray, don't you know about esports? It's competitive now, dude. Bro.
Yeah, whatever.
Are you going to step to me? We're going to have a Fallout competition, brosif.
We already did, and you won.
I build rubber mats.
It was some kind of sign.
Was it a sign? I don't know.
For sale signs or something like that.
I was building the kitty painting over and over again.
Well, the chat room's filling up. Awesome.
Oh, is it great? Say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
You give shout outs to people in there, right?
Freighter's hanging out. Wendy.
Nice, Freighter.
Jeremy.
Wendy.
Shalene.
Nice, guys.
Shalene popped in.
Holy cow. Thanks, everybody. Speaking of I forgot to confirm this with her when I was talking to her earlier, but she's supposed to be on the show, I think, next week. I think that with her, but Elle, our good friend from up north, will also be on. I'm hoping. I need to double check with these guys. I hope I'm not springing this on them. But yeah, Shalene and Michelle, we'll see you hopefully on the next. Guys, we got a lot more feedback to get through. We need Dexter is our next character from listener Josh. Thanks for writing in, Josh.
This is Josh with his feedback for Dexter for the strength, lockpicking, and unarmed bobbleheads. Hit level 13 right outside of Mass Fusion. I was actually not going to Mass Fusion to get the strength bobblehead yet. I was going to Bunker Hill because I wanted to see about getting my settlement. I took, at level 13, I took gun nut number 2 so I can start getting some silencers on some of my guns because I have the Mr. Sandman Park. I spoke with Deb at Bunker Hill. She needed some ghouls at the National Guard Training Center eliminated. Took out the turrets with the sniper rifle. Made quick work of the ghouls with the Furious Power Fist. My strength is naturally a 1. but it is 3 with Grogneck's costume. I heard Ray talking about on one of the previous episodes how high strength helps your unarmed attacks. I think I'm going to be moving on from the Power Fist fairly soon. Went and took him dying a couple times. I saved 3 characters. When I went back to let Kessler know that it was done, she was sleeping, and it offered Mr. Sandman kill. First time I'd seen that, I did not do it since I wanted to get Bunker Hill as a settlement. I hit level 14, so I took the attack dog, second level in attack dog. It wouldn't let me use the workbench at Bunker Hill yet. I'm not sure what I have to do. Any tips or tricks to get that as my settlement, I would appreciate it. I was then up Caravan Trading Post that I have so far. So I went ahead and did that. Before I left Bunker Hill, me and told me about going to the Cabot House. Not going to do that yet, but I will in the future. Went back to Sanctuary, I'd set up the trading post and saw time in my playthrough. She came to that trading post in Sanctuary, so I ended up buying Spray and Pray. I noticed after the fact that it was a silenced. Well, that'll help with my Mr. Sandman, and then it also has the explosive damage, so should do well. Also put a silencer on my 10mm pistol, going away from the Power Fist since my strength is so low. Went to Mass Fusion, used Spray and Pray. It was great, but I was using a lot of bullets pretty quickly. Going to have to stock up on 45 ammo for that. Also used this 10mm pistol. I ended up, I took out the gunner commander, but a couple of people mentioned that they were able to shoot out the fusion core. The gunner commander actually, his back turned to me, and I used VATS and took a shot at it, but he was turning as I entered into VATS, and so I wasted 10 shots from my silenced 10mm, where he didn't get hit at all because he had turned around. So I was unable to pop the fusion core out like other people too. So still on my to-do list. Went and to the top of the statue and jumped up and got that strength bobblehead. I have a fear of heights in real life, and so getting up there every time I feel the same way as I do not like it. I always do a quick save just in case I fall. After I got done with that, went to see Dr. Amari over in Good Neighbor. One thing that I am trying to do this playthrough is I'm trying not to be stingy on my caps. In the past, I've never wanted to spend my caps, and I think throwing out the 1,016 caps for Spray and Pray and not really worrying about having a big lump of caps is good for me to get me out of my comfort zone. I went ahead and before I talked to Dr. Amari, I went and talked to Kent and got the Silver Shroud quest. I always love doing the Silver Shroud quest. I'm gonna do it right after, or well, I plan on doing it right after I got done with Dr. Amari. I went and finished Kellogg's Memories, so that I knew that I needed to go find Virgil. I started the Silver Shroud quest. I always love doing those quests. Who doesn't want to be a superhero? So went ahead and killed the bad guys. I did do the optional assassination of Shelley Tiller, which I felt a little bad about afterwards, but it is what it is. I used spray and pray. It's much better than the Silver Shrouds machine gun. And then I went ahead and met Hancock, went off, killed Smiling Kate and Northie, and then had to go and save Kent. So I always try and save Kent, but there's been a few times that he's died. So I know it's a pretty quick progression. One thing that I haven't done a lot of in the past is use the different drugs and stuff like that. So I'm trying to experiment with that kind of stuff. So I ended up using Psychojet at the end battle with Kent so that I could boost my damage and slow time. Used also 2 critical hits that I had from my critical banker to go ahead and take out Sinjin and his cohort that always tries to kill Kent after you kill him. Kent said he needed a break. I went ahead and went back, spoke with Hancock. I picked up level 16, so I took better criticals, which I guess gives me, so when I do land a critical hit or use a there's more damage. I headed over to the Atom Cats and got the unarmed bobblehead, easy peasy. Went over to the Warwick Homestead pump and fixed it, and then went back to the gunners and got went back to the Atom Cats and then had to help them against the gunners. The gunners were actually pretty tough, but we ended up taking them down. And then I got Zeke's jacket and jeans. So it has 1 charisma and unarmed 4. So I decided I would start using the power fist again. It was short-lived going away from it, but I thought, hey, with a unarmed boost of 4, maybe it would work out. I'm not sure. I hit level 17 outside of the church, of the North Church, and took critical banker number 2, level 2. So I believe now I can bank 2, my critical banker level filled up, so I can actually have 3 at once that I can use. Went into Pikmin's, taking out the raiders with the power fist. Once I got into the tunnels underneath the house, I used the sniper rifle. There was just too much distance for the power fist. Killed the raiders that were holding Pikmin hostage. Got Pikmin's key and the bobblehead, and then there was also an Astounding and Awesome magazine, I think, that did plus 5% damage resistance, or maybe poison resistance. Can't remember. So Pikmin's through the underground exit. I could not find the entrance back into Pikmin's gallery. And so finally I just, after running around for about 5, maybe even 10 minutes, I got the bright idea, hey, I'm just going to fast travel to Pikmin's gallery. So I did that, went in the front door, found the safe behind the portrait, and got Pikmin's blade. I went back to Sanctuary, got my power armor, and I upgraded it to T45B for the trip to the Glowing Sea. I haven't used power armor with the exception of the first Deathclaw battle outside the Museum of Freedom. And my way to I did see the hideout in front of Virgil's entrance, and I got a couple shots off. Didn't kill him and ran off. So I went up to Virgil's, and that's where I'm at right now. I haven't actually spoken with Virgil, but I have a feeling that as soon as I walk out that door, there's probably going to be a Deathclaw. It's going to try and rip me apart. So
Yeah.
this has been a lot of fun. Thanks for listening to my feedback. We'll see you in the wasteland.
I always run into him on the way in. How do you get a Virgil without running into that damn Deathclaw? He's always waiting on me. Actually, there's one time I came in, I was super lost. I came in from the top of the cave. You ever come in from backwards above Virgil's cave and drop down? I've done that once, I guess. But I always get
that's
fucked
the
up.
way I usually end up falling in.
Yeah, you usually falling. Yeah, it's like me that time I fell into Good Neighbor. It's like, where the fuck is Good Neighbor? And I fell off the highway and landed in Good Neighbor. I'm like, oh, there it is. All right, lucky fall. First time I had to try to find Good Neighbor, Ray. Most frustrating part I've ever had in Fallout 4, I think. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not. It's easy once you've been there a couple of times, but it can be tricky to find back there in that little corner. There's all kinds of stuff going on around it, so they're out to get you.
Speaking of that neighborhood, just a little north of there, you got Bunker Hill, right?
That's quite a bit north.
Quite a bit north. Well, he was mentioning his problems with Bunker Hill, and he needs to get it as a settlement. He couldn't get the workshop to work, right?
That one has to be unlocked.
I've got the wiki pulled up. I don't know. What do you have to do in order to get it? Completing Kessler's job to save. No. The player can unlock the settlement by speaking to Kessler.
After the Battle of Bunker Hill.
After the Battle of Bunker Hill.
Yeah, that's the Institute fight against Bunker Hill.
That's locked into the.
I think you have to do it on behalf of Bunker Hill to drive away the Institute, and then it can be your
Minutemen. Who's he? Who faction is he?
For me, it was the Brotherhood of Steel. I had to fight back when I was playing as the Minutemen.
Oh, I'd help out with that. Yeah. So I don't know. Is the Battle of Bunker Hill that's the main storyline, right?
Yeah.
If he's just at Virgil, he doesn't know about the Institute yet, really, or he doesn't know how to get into it yet.
Not yet.
Got to figure that out. So you'll get there, pretty soon, probably, if you power through the main story a little bit there, Josh. He said attack dog. He's taking that one. That's the one where like dog meat grabs the guy and holds him for you, right?
Yep.
I've never actually taken that perk. He mentioned his own fear of heights. I have to admit, I have an extreme. I never used to as a kid, but for some reason as an adult, the heights make me queasy now. I don't like them anymore. And sometimes I get my construction, I'm going up way up high and stuff. And it gives me a little bit, like in real life, it gives me just a little bit of vertigo or something when I'm up on top of my tower, like building stuff. Because I was playing third person because I feel like I have a little bit more control of the field of vision. And the build mode puts you in first person, so it makes it a little more intense and shaky and everything. So when I'm way up high, and I always forget to save, of course, and then I fall off those towers and kill myself. So you are very smart, Josh, for giving yourself a quick save there before running up the tower. That's awesome. He's a big fan of the Silver Shroud. Those are always fun to me. I've always heard that there's the Silver Shroud and the who's the automatron person? The Mechanist were arch enemies. Shouldn't there be Silver Shroud and Mechanist showdown? They should have written that in. Warwick Homestead. I think actually Steve or someone else mentioned it earlier. Josh was mentioning he went down to Warwick Homestead. Of course, all of us did. But I think Steve mentioned that you can just send there by the Institute as well. Maybe it wasn't Steve. Maybe it was Leon.
I think he
it was Steve.
last week, maybe.
Was it Steve?
Yeah.
You can get sent there via the Institute. Has anyone ever done it that way?
Yeah, I've done that one.
They reveal to you that the war Roger has been replaced. He's been body.
Yeah, and you still get that quest even if you've gotten that settlement as a Minuteman settlement.
Oh, that's awesome.
Once you get into the institute and start doing theirs, because it's a side quest from one of the scientists there, and you have to go in and stop one of the workers from the farm to, from telling everybody that Roger's a synth.
You have to go stop telling everybody.
Yeah, you convince him to not say anything.
Keep it on the DL, everybody. Roger's a good guy. Don't rat him out. Okay, that's so weird. I thought Jeremy wrote in, but I was looking at the email on one device, and it was not coming through. I was like, wait a second. I thought Jeremy sent something in. But then I looked at the other original thing. Actually, it's gone now, too. Weird. Where did Jeremy's email go? It disappeared, guys.
That's weird. Can't blame me. I'm not in it.
We looked in the trash. I accidentally deleted it.
Uh-oh.
No, it's not in the trash. Where'd it go, Jeremy?
That's super weird.
Did you unsend it? Is that possible? Only for like 10 seconds or something, right? Oh, shit. I don't know where it went. I'm so sorry, Jeremy. What the hell? It was right there.
Yep.
Ray, you can confirm that? It's gone?
Yeah, I don't see it.
What the fuck? What did I do?
Super weird.
It's not in the trash. It's not in the junk.
Did you accidentally move it to like a folder?
I don't know.
No. It's not in the feedback to read folder.
Can you just go up to the top and search?
Oh, click on importance.
Let me. Yeah, I'm playing it off of the phone though, so I need to find it on the phone. This is good podcasting.
So it looks like he sent something in after the first time.
He sent in a second thing?
Well, no, somehow or another it duplicated the email. So do you see it go in important?
Important.
Click on the where it says more.
Let me see. I need to get into the right mailbox. There it
I
is.
didn't know you were getting a Gmail tutorial.
Yeah, what the hell is going on? And now it's there. Jeremy, did you just resend? What happened, dude? Did you just send that and resend that? While we're live on the air, are you live producing the show? Because we needed your help, actually. So thanks for doing that.
Yep.
All right. We'll get to Jeremy's.
Live. Oh wait, now another one just popped up.
Oh, another one coming in. Are they all the same?
Oh, Jeremy said he sent it. He just forwarded it again. What a champ.
Just play the file named FFRT5.
It is currently stalled downloading. It's trying.
Yes.
It's
a live show, people. It's a live show.
We always appreciate you checking. I hate to sending us the feedback. But this is why I like for you to send it early, because I can put when I put the show together at like 4:00, I can get all the I can get everything converted and loaded up, and you don't have to wait on the email downloading to the phone. And so it's halfway done.
I did want to say that the Wasteland is, to Josh's point, incredibly easy to get lost in. I cannot figure out where I'm going to like save my life, so I totally get. I know I'm just like recircling back to something you guys were talking about a minute ago, but I feel you on not being able to find the Pikmin gallery. 100%.
Yeah,
it's easy to
especially when you
forget.
leave and then have to go back. I found it easily the first time going in out of the basement, and then he wants you door. That's when I got super lost, and you did too, right?
Yeah, I'm totally discombobulated. And I already don't know. I mean, I realize that on my little navigation thing, it tells me north, south, east, west, but I have no I have no sense of direction in real life. I don't understand how they expect me to have one in fake life, PS4 life. I don't know.
Yeah, the compass rose and you know, um, I think that's good enough. Oh, here, Jeremy just popped up here. Let's go ahead and hop into Jeremy.
Table. This is Jeremy McDaniel checking in with my character Wasteland Germ. I think last time I left off, I was getting close to level 50. I'm at level 54 currently now. I've mostly been sticking to the bobblehead quests and just doing a lot of settlement building these past couple weeks. But then the only side quest I really did, getting the Cabot House underway, which I think that actually is a quest line that leads into assignment of bobbleheads. But a lot of building, I'll just start at my settlements, and I finished up my castle. I used the gun glitch and probably built close to 2 times with the build in that. But I got that all completed where I've built the walls back up. I have an electric door as an entrance, original entrance from the warehouse to get in and out, which is kind of cool. I've got all of the shops there. Basically, I filled all the interior areas. You know, I have like a bunking area, like a meeting area, kitchen, bathroom area, and then kind of the 2 hallways are filled with shops. And I've filled those all with level 4 shops. So it took a lot of caps. I probably spent 7,000 caps maybe or something like that just to build all those. But it's complete. It's a nice kind of home base for my south expansion, and I've already gone to start to take some southern settlements, and I just reached in my current playing right now. I'm in Vault 88. So other than that, I've also been checking in with a lot of settlements and reworking old ones and adding to them. And let's see. With these, I started out at Mass Fusion downtown. I was in that good neighbor area that last time in the feed you guys were talking about how it's just really bogged down just because there's so much going on in that area. It's so dense, you know, with the super mutants, ghouls. I always run into those freaking dogs. And that's definitely where my game crashes the most. But Mass Fusion's right near there. And I headed in there to get the strength bobblehead. It was pretty straightforward. Just up there. It took me forever to figure out where the bobblehead was and look it up. I had seen previous videos of like how you could grab an extinguisher on the bottom floor and kind of run up against the wall and kind of, you know, climb up to the very tip top of Mass Fusion. I don't know, some greaves, I think they're legs that give you that you're impervious to fall. I'd seen a random video of that on YouTube, and I kind of thought that the bobblehead was up there, so I was spending a lot of time trying to glitch up there, and then I was having trouble with that, and I ended up looking it up and found where it was. Nothing too crazy with me there. I had fun. I liked. So I usually have Curie dressed up in the surveyor outfit, but when we go into battle, or I'm going into her and get hot and heavy, and I always load her up with a ton of combat armor and a nice dirty army helmet. I just have fun with that. It's just stupid to take the time to do that. She's pretty horrible in battle as it is, but it's fun. And so from Mass Fusion, we went on into actually, I was doing a lot of settlement building in between. So kind of a fun side story from that is I went to Crossing, and that one is it's given to you by Minutemen Quest originally. And I believe that, from my knowledge, almost every time I've been there, it's been one of the people's kidnapped, and I have to go save a kidnapped settler, and that aligns them with the Minutemen. So I was just going back there to build more onto it, and I noticed one of my settlers, like the number of settlers there was one less. It's like, that's weird. What's going on with that? And I went back to the settlement, and I had one settler there. I was supposed to have 3. It said I had 2, and I knew one was on. It's supposed to be 2 are there, and one is on a supply line, and so it was down to 2. And I noticed only one guy was there, so my supply line guy was, I assumed still fine. But so the one ran up to me, he's like, "Hey, guys, kidnapped again." What do you mean he's kidnapped? Well, he was acting like it was the first, and I was like, "This is this has happened before. When I first came here, your friend was kidnapped, and now he's kidnapped again." Like, I kind of thought it was almost like a glitch, but I ended up doing the mission and went and saved him. He was at some, forget where it was, if I wrote it down. He was nearby where some super mutants were, and rats, I can't find it. Anyway, and so I saved him, and we're heading back, and I was kind of nervous about him getting back for some reason. We were close by, so I was like, I'm gonna walk, watch him head back. And on the trip back, we kind of passed this other area, like a radio tower area, where there was a bunch of super mutants, and they started attacking him. And I was kind of at a distance watching him. They didn't see me, and he was under attack, and I was freaking out that I spent all this time to save this settler again, and then he was going to just get killed by super mutants, while I happened to be watching him go. I know that if I left him, I assume he would have been fine and would have made it there. But I know, like, for example, when provisioners die when they're around you, they stay dead. So I was pretty nervous about that, but I saved the day. He did go down. I was freaking out. He was down, and I was like, he's going to die. He's going to bleed out. But I ended up saving the day, and he made his way back, and all is well. I just thought that was cool that, he was under, if you fall on, they really will interact with the environment, and he will be, befall an attack from super mutants and inevitably die if you don't jump in. But it was definitely deja vu, another kidnapping. So then from there, I ventured south to the Adam Cat's garage. Grabbed that bobblehead head there. I'd never been there before. It was pretty cool. I like their just more of the fun writing they do. Just those goofy, beat kind of cool cat poets, like 50s style shit. I don't know. I get a kick out of all those just goofy personas and groups and cults and whatnot that they develop. So I ended up aligning with them, doing some of the missions with them, even though the bobblehead you just had to grab. But that kind of led me to where's the place you have to install the pump? It's Warwick Station or Warwick Homestead. So again, that's kind of adding another to my west or southward expansion of settlements. Also on the way there, I ran into Billy in the fridge. That was my first time running into him. That was awesome. Again, I've played so much and done a couple round tables now. The south end of the map, I just still haven't explored that much. Anything south of the greater Boston area, I just haven't been to too much. And so running into him was really cool. And I took him home as well, kind of out when I was doing some of the Adam Cat stuff and whatnot. Let's see. Well, I guess I'll just move on to the last one. I have some other notes of some side stuff I was doing. But the lockpicking bobblehead in Pikmin's Gallery, that was actually my favorite of it's one of my favorite of the ones that's been assigned so far. I've never actually been to Pikmin's Gallery before either. I just love the sadistic scene up in the building, and it definitely had this very I don't know, to me, sort of Silence of the Lambs type shit. Just where it was kind of, this facade out front, but then there's these underground tunnels and passages, and or even kind of like It or something like that, like the sewer. I don't know. It just had some nostalgic feel about it to me, of just a sadistic killer, and all of his funny artworks, and just having this weird labyrinth of passages and in the depths of the building. And I really appreciated Pikmin's art. Anyone who's against Raiders is good by me, although he's not the style I tend to go to. I'm not the sadistic type, but I enjoyed meeting him, and I let him live, and I helped him, and I grabbed the bobblehead at the end and got the Pikmin's blade, which is awesome. I've been using that actually as my melee currently now, and definitely like it a lot. The bleed damage is just significant, and also the amount of times you can use it in VATS is great. I really think that they should have maybe they do have more of a story to him that I don't know about, but they should really elaborate on this Pikmin guy. He just has a fun, crazy story and just seems like a interesting, insane dude. They should have had like DLC to expand on him or something. I was really intrigued by the character. I really hope I can run into him more later, but yeah. Definitely one of my favorite bobbleheads to get so far. No, that's getting into the other bobbleheads. Started the next round of bobbleheads. I have some notes on it, but I think I'll stop there. Yeah, definitely dragging long enough. I've been using a lot of I have the Rifleman perk, and I've been using a lot of the hunting rifle with my I'd call it the Red Rider. I've got a Garvey, my laser musket. I've been using an assault rifle that I've found a legendary one that I've named the Righteous Assault Rifle because it has the same perk as Righteous Authority. But it's time for me to branch out. I've been using those too much, and I'd be curious if you guys, some of the hosts, what are your guys' favorite rifles to use with the Rifleman perk? Whether they're named ones when you find a legendary perk that you like. Yeah, I'm open to suggestions. I need to freshen up my battle. So if you got any suggestions there, that'd be great. That's all I got for you guys. Sorry, this one I didn't plan out my feedback this time around and get time to, and I'm just doing it last. But thanks for listening, and look forward to listening to others' feedback and excellent.
Right on. Thank you so much, Jerem. Sorry about the loading issues. My bad. The garage door sounds like a fucking great idea on the castle wall. I never even would have thought to do that. I was watching a video the other day because I'm kind of interested in repairing, because I heard you guys in the group talking about repairing up the castle. So I was like, maybe look up a YouTube video, see what these people are talking about. So there's this guy who's taking the wood floor piece that has the large cement blocks, and like if you can sort of like clip one of the edges and then continue on along the wall and then fill in underneath with that. I thought, oh, that looks neat, but that's really cool for the garage door. That's a really neat idea. See, I never use stuff like that. I need to be more creative with my building. And speaking of building, yeah, post pictures, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Speaking of building, guys, has anyone ever used the? I was just looking through the build menu the other day. the ball track and the little. There's this whole section of the build menu that I just totally ignore at all. You know what I mean?
What's it for?
I don't know.
Make your
It's to build those like sadistic torture machines that like a ball drops and then sets off a shotgun trap and blast off. So I don't know. It's crazy. There's a whole lot of stuff I need to play with more. Like I still have never set up the arena, the battle arena.
You can set up a battle arena?
Exactly. You can get the like animal friend perk or something and set up traps so you could get like different animals and creatures in your settlement. And then you have this arena thing you can set up and set one team blue and one team red and then set up these battles between different monsters and stuff. And then like people will cheer. You set up bleachers for all your settlers to come and watch the fights, I think. I haven't done that at all.
That sounds I don't know how I feel about it.
I know I hear it's complicated to get it to work correctly, so I've never actually really played around with it much. And Ray's just a lost hope because it has something to do with settlement building. So I know Ray's not done that.
No. Especially the ball track.
The ball track, yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
It's like if you don't want to play dominoes in real life, you can play Marble Madness in the game or something. If someone has a really good use out there, I'd love to hear it because I'd like to. If it's just for fun, that's cool too. But if it has like a real cool use, other than just like blowing up teddy bears or whatever that I've seen videos, drop me that line. He was talking about the rifleman perk. Do you guys have a favorite rifle? There's a named radium rifle that you get in Far Harbor. I forget what it's called. The Kiloton. The Kiloton radium rifle. I like that one. Gives extra radiation damage, and it might have explosive. Yeah, it has a combination of explosive and radiation damage, so it has actually a double legendary effect, which is fun because you get to double dip there. But radiation damage in this game, who does that affect? That affects like people. You can't use it against ghouls. Super mutants are not immune to it, but resistant to it. Anything rad stag, rad roach, rad whatever, they're pretty resistant to all the radiation damage. Like you can only use it on like people. You know what I mean? Everything else is radiation resistant in the game. You shoot a radiation. Sorry?
I think on one of the when you're on your loading screens, one of them is the gamma gun. And it even says specifically that it's only really useful on humans.
Yeah, you shoot a ghoul with that, it does like 0 damage to it. Yeah. You gotta choose wisely. What do you guys did you guys have any thoughts on Jeremy's feedback there? Just launched into it.
Extinguisher. Am I saying that right? Fire extinguisher against the wall.
I wrote that down too.
Is he saying like against the wall up the outside of the building, or you can go up the inside of the building?
I'm assuming you can go from the inside of the building to the outs. No, that wouldn't make sense. I don't know. I was confused as well. I haven't heard of that move he's talking about. Yeah. I've never heard of the extinguisher clipping glitch, but I know in Skyrim there's like the plate glitch where you can pick up a plate and run it on the wall, and you can pass through some locked doors sometimes. I think you can glitch through. But that's really interesting. I never heard of that. Yeah, is it only in Mass Fusion? Can you do this other places, Jeremy? Tell us more about this extinguisher glitch thing. He had the same settler kidnapped multiple times. Have you guys ever noticed that phenomenon?
Yeah, there's a couple of different settlements that happens in pretty regularly. It's like their
the
thing.
Same settler. Yeah. The same settler gets kidnapped multiple times. That's really funny. You'd think he'd be like, be more careful, or I don't know. What do? If you same person, do they get kidnapped by different locations, or is it the same super mutants, for instance, coming back every time? or do they get kidnapped by gunners the next week?
We just need
This
to
was just super unlucky.
stop wandering away from the settlement.
Yeah, you just need to sit there, park your ass there, Jeremy, and protect your people. What are you doing? Don't walk away. Right now he's in Vault 88. I haven't been in Vault 88 in a long time. I want to go mess around in there. We're trying to come up with ideas for roundtable stuff for next season, starting probably July-ish. I was thinking earlier today, like this, we collected all the bobbleheads. That's a very classic Fallout. Maybe another classic Fallout theme is just vaults. So I don't know. Are there enough vaults that we can build a season around doing vaults? I don't know. Another idea. He said he wants to interact with Pikmin more. I think that's a good idea. Pikmin doesn't just go out and about into the game, right? No one has ever run into Pikmin again.
No, and that's so that if I was going to have a follower, it would either be Pikmin
Oh my gosh.
or Lorenzo Cabot. Those are my two favorite characters in the game. Absolutely, hand down, the two best dudes in this whole game,
That
other
is
than
awesome.
your character, are those guys, and you have so little interaction with them. At least with Lorenzo Cabot, you can run into him eating people in the area afterwards. But yeah, no, Pikmin you never see again.
The real tragedy of the whole scenario, Ray. You can get Lorenzo's suit, but the most interesting hat in the game remains cemented upon his dead head. That is the coolest hat.
I don't really
what
do
the
hats.
fuck? Why on earth would you assholes not let me get my damn hat?
Well, didn't you see what it did to him? They're just protecting you.
I'm not gonna wear it. I'm just gonna put it on a settler or a follower or something.
Well, then they'll go around killing people telekinetically.
Well, at least if they, if they're friendly to me, then, maybe that'll be a little fun little side, partner. Like my little Robin to Batman. That'd be great. Do, psychokinetic killer stuff. Buddy, go ahead. I don't know. I think it's a cool looking helmet. I auto-saved and killed him just to see if I could take it because I forgot if you could take the suit or the hat, and then I remembered, oh, yeah, you can take that suit. That's not all that remarkable. What does it do? Does it give you some, not charisma? What does that suit give you, Ray? Do you remember offhand? I don't remember.
No, because I never kill him.
I haven't killed
You
him
always
yet.
keep him because you love him. Yeah. Great, Jeremy. Thank you for your feedback. He mentioned, multiple people mentioned tonight, not wanting to run into your provisioners on the road because if you get attacked, then they can die. I have yet that I have. I don't want that to happen to any of my followers. You avoid them on the road. It's like if you see your guys, run away.
Again, not something I worry about.
Yeah, Ray never has to worry about it. Ray, do you have an email pulled up? We had Craig, I believe, sent an email for us. Craig,
Yes,
thank you so much, buddy. Been sending in consistent feedback for the last couple of seasons. So thanks a lot. It's always great to hear from you, Craig. And let's hear what he has to say.
Okay. So I'll apologize to him in advance because it's a pretty good size email, and I will probably fall apart somewhere about the middle of it. All right.
Okay,
Hello, Fallout Feed. Here is a continuation of Zarna Bishop's adventures in bobbleheading. I followed the distress signal and found a lone robot named Ada fighting a bunch of other robots, blaring stuff about the Mechanist. I helped her and found out that they have been harassed by these robots for a while. In the end, they killed all of her friends, and I decided to let her tag along with me. Once we gather enough strength, we'll take on her nemesis. Caught wind of another bobblehead inside of Mass Fusion, headed in and found it full of gunners. Made my way inside and fought my way to one of the upper floors and found the strength bobblehead sitting on a statue. Grabbed it and headed out. On a trip from Diamond City, city guard headed, on a tip from a Diamond City guard, I headed to the Museum of Witchcraft. There were bodies of gunners outside. I made my way in the basement and was hounded by a monster from above. I eventually made my way into the main part of the museum to find a nasty deathclaw. Luckily, she couldn't squeeze through the doorway of the room I was in, so I stayed back and shot her until she died. Come to find out, the gunners had also stolen an egg for Wellingham in Diamond City. I sold him the egg and made my way to the Colonial Tap House. There was a husband and wife arguing about her spending too much time in the bar. It ended with the bartender beating the guy up and throwing him out. I followed him to see if I could offer assistance, for caps, of course. He asked me to talk to the bartender cook, talk him into leaving his wife alone. I agreed to do it. I entered the bar and threatened Cook. He was pretty scared and asked in exchange for his life if we could split a chem score. I agreed, and we headed outside of Diamond City and ambushed the chem dealer, killing everyone but Trish. She agreed to give me the password to her boss's chem lab in exchange for her life. I agreed, but Cook tried to kill her, and in the end, I took him out, and she got away. When I headed back to Diamond City, word had traveled pretty fast. I was confronted by Cook's daughter and convinced her that I was not the one who killed him. I was also confronted by Malcolm Latimer, the father of one of the guys that were involved in the deal. I convinced him that it was actually Morawski that had killed his son, and he hired me to take him out. I headed to Good Neighbor to do this. Morawski already knew I was involved. Apparently, Trish spilled the beans. He demanded money. I had agreed to get it to him, but crept back in with a stealth boy and slit his throat. While in Good Neighbor, I heard about a guy named Kent wanting someone to be the Silver Shroud. I remembered those radio plays from back in the pre-war days, so I gave it a shot. I first had to get the costume from the comic book store. Kent fixed it up for me and headed out to clean up the streets. Eventually, I made a guy named Sinjin so mad that he kidnapped Kent to get back at me. In the end, I rescued Kent, and all was well. The Silver Shroud lives on again. This eventually led me to meeting with Good Neighbor's mayor, Hancock. He asked me to check out Pickman's gallery. I headed there and found out it was the home of an artist/serial killer. His victims were raiders, so I ended up letting him live after helping him kill a bunch of raiders. For my trouble, I received a sweet knife and a lockpick bobblehead. At some point during my travels, I met a guy in power armor named Duke, and he told me about the Atom Cats and how they souped up power armor. I decided to check him out. I met a bunch of cool cats down there and helped them fix up a pump for a nearby settlement. And I helped them fend off a gunner attack. For my trouble, I found the unarmed bobblehead, plus got a sweet leather jacket, and now I'm a member of the Atom Cats. Meow. Thanks, Craig.
Incredible. Good stuff. Beefy. That whole interaction, right? The Kims thing. That's all spun off because you went to the Museum of Witchcraft and then found out that there's the whole Deathclaw thing, and then there's the nest, and you found out about the Deathclaw eggs, so you got drawn to the bar, and in the bar you go in, and then there's the stupid fight, and then the guy gets his ass kicked, and then you go to the thing, and you do the whole drug deal. You get the did he go to the actual drug factory? If you go to that factory, you get like sweet, hazmat suits. What are they called? Whatever they're called. Those
hazmat suits. You can get them for like 4 or 5 of them at least.
Yeah, there's a ton. That's one of my favorite things is dressing up all the settlers the same. You know, I do hazmat suits with fat men. It looks crazy. It looks great to have settlers walk around with hazmat suits with fat men. It feels secure. You know what I mean? But anyway, all that stuff at the Colonial Tap House, and you know, Cook and you can also get involved in all the like the wife and who cheated on who and all that. You know, all sorts of stuff you get you dragged into. You lead one thing, you pull one thread, and all the stuff comes untangled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get a nice haul of drugs too.
Oh God, that.
Do.
And
It's like 40 jet, 40 Mentats.
I've forgotten that crate.
40 Med-X, yeah.
Yeah, because you can take if you kill off the guys that you meet, you split the crate, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't kill Cook and Paul, then you have to split it with them.
Right. Why didn't I think of just killing everybody?
If you kill everybody, you get it all for yourself.
Be a little bit more like Ray.
And you talk to Trish because she takes a knee and then of course begs for her life.
Right.
And you can get her to tell you how to get into the factory without tripping off the alarm that alerts the people inside.
Right.
And and even after you get that, you can still take her out. Because even if you tell her you're not going to kill her, you can still kill her.
I'm pretty sure that I did exactly that. Like, she turned around, and I was like, well, I'm just going to kill her. So I did.
Yeah, she's a loose end.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Because, you've got a bunch of people that come, sniffing around trying to find out what happened.
They come after you.
Yeah.
And then don't you get threatened? Or is that a different story? You have to go down to the bar in Diamond City.
Yeah, that's if Murawski finds out about it.
Right. That's right.
And so he finds out from Trish.
Oh, so maybe I didn't kill her. Okay. And then he tries to make you pay up, right?
Yeah.
What happens if you don't pay up?
Well, he sends a bunch of the triggermen. I think it is the guys that you find in the apartment building there in Good Neighbor.
Oh, okay.
I think they call them triggermen.
Yeah, they do.
So you have to have good enough charisma to convince Cook's daughter that you didn't have anything to do with it. Marcy whines at you routinely asking if you've seen Paul.
Jeremy said in the chat that he didn't realize that the quest from the tap room started from Salem, and I didn't know that either, because I've always just wandered in there and seen them.
Well, I didn't mean it directly leads to it. It's just that I believe the Deathclaw egg is, you see some reference to it, but then the whatever the robot is outside of the Colonial Tap House is the one who sends you off to find that Deathclaw egg in the nest. Ray, how is that connected to the sale? I thought that Deathclaw nest was somehow.
Yeah, so you have two options. Once you've got the Deathclaw egg, you can either take it to the Deathclaw nest and return it to the mother, and you get a Deathclaw gauntlet for it, or you can take it to the waiter Wellington at the bar outside of what is it called? The upper deck or something like that.
Yeah.
And he'll give you some caps and the recipe for
Omelets.
Deathclaw omelet. And
Nice.
so when you're done with that, you're standing right outside of the Colonial Tap House.
Ah,
And so if you just walk in from there, then you start that quest.
Yeah. So I didn't mean it literally sends you in, but like it just dumps you out there. So, you know, it's a logical progression,
right.
I guess.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Everybody-
Craig does a good job of tying all these different pieces together, you know, to reasons why he would be looking, you know, why he would come across these bobbleheads.
Yeah. He always sculpts his feedback very well.
He's a storyteller. I like it.
If you couldn't tell, he is a you are right. He is a great storyteller. He's a tabletop game guy. He likes to build stories and characters and stuff. You can tell he's really good about
Yeah.
expressing the stories of characters and
So creative. I wish I had
Yep.
that creativity.
well, I always enjoy Craig's feedback a lot. He's a good guy. Right on. You guys have any other thoughts tonight?
I do not.
Well, on that note, I just confirmed with Shalene over on the YouTube chat that she'll be here next week. So good. We'll be going to fetch the Charisma, Medicine, and Big Guns bobbleheads. I'll need to confirm with our friend Michelle to see if he is available, but Shalene will be joining us. The Twitch stream, keep your eyes peeled for Pat doing the Charisma bobblehead. Our friend Laura from across the pond there, who was doing our Blighty crew.
Who just happens to be in San Jose going to the Sharks game.
Yeah, I saw she was in America the other day. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing in America?
What?
But yeah, so hi to Laura. I don't know. She's still in the States. And Steve will be twitching Big Guns. So that's Charisma, Medicine, and Big Guns next week. Ray, thanks for joining me this evening. Sarah, thanks a lot. Everybody, see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all of it, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.